Hi, I'm Matt Mitchum. I'm an independent game developer and the designer of Brunelleschi Age of Architects. I'm just going to talk a little bit today about gaming journalism and the importance of objectivity in making the purchases that gamers make, and how gaming journalism is fundamentally a symbiotic relationship between advertisers, consumers, and the journalists themselves. Basically, what it comes down to is that in the modern world, information, there's just way too much of it. There's no way that we can possibly discern as players what we're going to enjoy spending our time and money on, just given the raw feed. I mean, as an independent game developer, I will tell you, we're all trying to get our games made. We all believe we've made the best games in the world, and we'll be happy to tell you. So what we really need, both as developers and as players, is some objective, independent oversight. We just need you guys to let us know what you honestly really think about these games. And to some extent, your opinions are welcome in that. I personally, I value the opinion of a reviewer when I'm choosing something to play or to watch or to read, because the attitude, the personality, and the style of the reviewer might reflect to me some of the attitudes that they have and might help me determine whether or not I'm going to agree with their critique. And critique really is the essential aspect here, okay? What we as developers are looking for is we're looking for somebody to evaluate our game, to play our game, and to tell us what people in general are going to think about that. I mean, when we read a review, we're hoping to read the opinions that would be shared by many players, because it does save us a lot of time. While we can get direct feedback, you know, knowing what the gaming press is saying about our products is really essential and really important. So, talking about objectivity for a second, I just want to put this in the perspective of tabletop gaming. Now, a lot of D&D players, Shadowrun players, all sorts of Call of Cthulhu tabletop players really enjoy playing with their friends. And we're all friends. Some of us have romantic relationships with the people that we're playing and games with and running games for. But we still consider objectivity to be an essential part of the fun. And if you think of sort of a metagame, the entire gaming industry is a big collaborative, collective role-playing game that we're all playing. It's really essential that some objectivity be maintained, because it's not going to be a lot of fun if personal bias, if bias from outside the game, the gaming industry, really comes into play a lot. It's great if you like your friends. I like my friends as well. I tend to compliment people that I like on their work, and it's easy to be disingenuous when you're doing that, okay? But when it comes down to people's livelihoods, when it starts being a matter of whether or not art gets made, whether or not players get to play the games they want, and whether or not developers who are genuinely doing hard work and good work for the industry on behalf of the customers, whether or not they're being recognized and rewarded. When your interpersonal relationships and your friendships start to interfere with your competence and your ability to provide the gaming community with what we need, then that's when we start to have a problem. And capitalism is really useful in that it creates these symbiotic loops, okay? The advertisers are paying you to represent our viewpoints. So the advertisers don't belong to you as the journalists, they belong to us as the customers. They know that we are ultimately going to be the ones buttering their bread by buying their products, and they know that we speak for them, and in a way, they speak for us. When someone like Intel boycotts one of your sites because we've asked them to, when they pull their ad buys, that's their way of acknowledging that the understanding of capitalism that has made them a large successful company, and the understanding of logic that has allowed them to produce microprocessors, is just causing them to say they represent their customer base, and so they're going to do what their customer base would want them to do. And that's really the amazing representative aspect of capitalism, and part of the reason that I believe it was woven into the fabric of this country. And I really I love the representative nature of our system here, and I just want to see that expanded in every possible way to where the voices of the people using the products and paying for the products are heard. One last thing, I just want to talk about misogyny, okay? This is not some cover for a misogynistic agenda. We really genuinely want you to tell us the truth about the games that you're, to some extent, selling us. When you write an article about a game, you're engaging in an act of public trust. you're claiming that that's what you really think and really feel about the game. And all we as gamers are asking you to do is to back that up. And you're not going to have an easy time tagging us with the label of misogynist. For one thing, a lot of us are actually female. Some of us have spent the last several years of their life working to get female developers into the gaming industry, and you're just not going to have an easy time tagging us with some sort of broad stroke label that really doesn't fit. So I just want to let you know that I believe that Gamergate is about journalistic integrity. I believe that it is about a consumer revolt that's been brought about by really years of malfeasance and poor reporting and just misconduct by the journalists that we're calling out here. Please don't misunderstand us. We are ready to come to the table. We are ready to talk to journalists who have mistakenly in the past been bigoted towards our social subgroup. Take, for example, Milo, Nero. He has apologized. Gamers accept this. If you come to the table and you tell us that you were wrong and that you're sorry, we'll understand that. We're human beings. We're very, very reasonable people. And I can say that gamers are some of the nicest people that I've ever met. They're some of the most inclusive people that I've ever met. And you really, really shouldn't call them names. Don't be mean to these people. These are good people. They're humans, just like you, and they deserve respect. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I do hope that you will support the Gamergate tag and transparency and openness in gaming journalism, as well as other types of journalism.